Yeah, good morning, everybody. Here's Frank Buckler. I'm back from the holidays. And recently, the new blog article on do not act on correlations appeared. Was the day before yesterday, I think, and already the feedback is pretty nice, pretty good. So keep on commenting. And that's why I'm just going live now to talk a bit about the topic, which I feel is dear to the heart of many business professionals, especially when it comes to insights and marketing, because our world is complex. Many things lead to success, and you actually not really know which one. And for me, as it is the key profession to do that, I see those spurious correlations popping up every day. I've been probably planning some kind of grabbing them and showing in LinkedIn. You will. It will be really fun. One of them is just saw a podcast quote from Elon Musk, a smart guy. He was quoting a scientific study that analyzed which sport prolongs your life, right? And it showed clearly that whatever cycling improves by 3 years, and football, soccer, 4 years, some kind of record sports, 6, and if you do tennis, yeah, it improves it by, I don't know, 7 or 8 years. So again, they compare people who play tennis versus others who do not play tennis. So it's a correlation, yeah. So biwayat, yeah, basically binary correlation, yeah. And everyone doing analysis for some time knows that the result of the longer lifetime of those people have many reasons, and probably not the sport. Yeah. So most obvious reason is that certain people play tennis, they would actually live longer even without the sport. Probably they go just 5 times a week there, a year there, but they have a different status, higher health insurance or health care. They live a healthier life, have access to healthier food. Many reasons I even don't know, but I know that the outcome, how long someone lives, is highly complex, and it correlates with many things. One of them is which sports you do. But this sport is just another outcome of a certain cause, which you would like to know about. So, and even smart people like Elon Musk are providing and distributing such a BS. Yeah, and I'm telling you because you know better than even me, because it is common practice in corporate life, yeah, to come up with numbers. Hey, this region has higher numbers, so they must be better. Maybe not. And of course, in our day-to-day life, we see lots of those examples. Just to give you a few, yeah, we once did analyze the customer feedback data from Sonos, and there were lots of different things asked to the owners. And what typically you first run a correlation analysis to see how things behave, and what turns out is the most correlating factor towards the likelihood to recommend and the loyalty, therefore, as a measure of the loyalty, is great customer service. So obviously You would say, obviously, it's a good thing to invest a lot of money in customer service, because then loyalty will be huge, and also upselling potential will be huge. The causal analysis turned out that actually it has very little impact. Yeah. But the reason for this correlation was that the customer servers were mainly used by new customers. New customers coming up, maybe didn't know how to install the speakers and so forth. And those new customers typically have a higher likelihood to recommend. They just bought the product and they are still enthusiastic about it. And that's what we see, that new customers with their enthusiasm at the beginning, they have a higher rating. And this correlates with a higher use of customer service. Yeah. So, just an example. Maybe another example. We did a project for a lottery provider, and where we see that age correlates with lottery tickets. Basically, that's everyone in the industry knows that older people play lottery more often than younger ones. So that's why the industry believes that the target group are the older people. Again, the causal analysis revealed that the opposite is true. Yeah, the correlation is true too. Yeah, older people that play lottery more often. But if everything else is the same, they are less likely to start playing lottery. Why is it? It is because the driver of playing lottery is habituation of playing and experience of winning. And both is improving over time. Yeah. If you start young, you habitualize, you sometimes win, and then you are more likely to play it again. And this correlates with the age, but the age is not the cause. It's habitualization and experience of winning. Again, a correlation which totally feels you and fools you. Another example. It was telecommunication, where we looked at the customer data who churned, and what they did were they called people up just to say, hey, how are you doing? Are you still satisfied with us? They basically wanted to show their appreciation, and with that lower the risk of churn, and also sense whether or not there's a risk, so they can prevent it. So it turns out that those people who received this call had a higher churn rate afterwards. So they were, of course, anxious about this fact, because obviously it produces churn. Yeah? A causal analysis showed that just those people pick up which have a higher churn rate anyways, because it was the time where people were called on landline, and people at home with the landline typically were social groups that had a much higher likelihood to churn and to pick cheap alternatives. So the picking up the phone was an indicator for having a higher churn ratio. So again, the statistics doesn't say anything about the cause of it. Yes, these are some examples from real business life, which insights and business and marketing professionals typically know, and they heard it in university, but they still don't know really what to do against it. Yeah, and also this correlation thing is so intuitive, and you can make such nice storytelling about it, right? So it's typically harder, to argue against it. Without having a solution. But there are now solutions. The key buzzword, which is really, really fastly growing, is now causal AI. It entered the Gartner hype cycle, where generative AI is on the peak right now, and causal AI is really on the rise. And that's a good thing, because now we are entering a phase where businesses have an alternative. Even a recent analysis of internal blogs from data science heavy companies like Netflix, Airbnb, Booking.com, I think, they analyzed all their internal data science blog and counted how much times causal AI was referred to in generative AI. And actually, it's all about causal AI in these blogs, because they want to achieve decisions that work. Causal AI is gained to understand the cause of effect. And that's basically what all marketing decisions is about. You want to know what to do to drive an outcome. And that's a mutual causal question. And you may ask, hey, causal question, but we have modeling, we have data science. Isn't that good enough? We have PhDs, right? They did lots of research, and of course, what they do and what they learn is a good thing, and it has use. But there is always part what someone misses, right? So you could really, let's take this metaphor. If you have a Formula One car, you could really viably quote and say, this car is amazingly fast. It can turn corners very fast. You can change tires in 2 seconds. So it's amazing. It is amazing. It's an amazing car. There's no way to make a faster car. So, and that's basically statistical modeling. It's just amazing. It's so precise. They have significant values and whatever they have. The problem is, if you take this car to a normal road, it will not go far, right? So every bump in the street will scatter them. And that's how business life is behaving. Business life is not a Formula One circuit. So the metaphor is here: to make a Formula One car so fast, you need to know the circuit. The circuit is super plain, and on this assumption, you build on your methods. Business life is typically you have a foggy ground. You're not really knowing where you're going up for. You may have some hypotheses, but oftentimes turns out that they are not valid. So what you need is an off-road vehicle which really can go through any territory, right? Because business ground is foggy. That's actually why AI, of course, also for insight purposes, is so coming and useful, right? Because AI is learning from data. Statistical modeling adjusts parameters of a given formula. AI finds a formula. It has more flexibility in learning things you don't know, right? But the trend is called causal AI. It is that way because AI is missing the single most important ingredients. Because of that, AI is discriminating. AI has model drift. So you basically train it. It works great on test data. Once you put it live, sooner or later, it fades out. Its impact fades out. Also, when you then apply explainable AI, which basically is kind of a way to understand what the black box is doing, you will find that the learnings oftentimes do not work. And all of this has one reason. The reason is the model is not built on causality. You use some information, no matter what, to explain the outcome. Doesn't doesn't care about whether it's causal or not. And that's what Causal AI is doing. It's try to make sure that the information the system is using is mutually causal. And with that, models are more predictive, they explain better, they discriminate less, and you will have decisions which show lower risks. So you may ask, how does Causal AI is doing it? And I talk in my keynotes about it, and watch in my YouTube channel. There's a good talk I held recently on ASC summit in London, where I explained that in detail. But in essence, there are 4 issues of conventional data analytics, like with AI or conventional statistics, that Causal AI is really solving. First, solving the multicollinearity. So basically, information you use in the model, they are correlating. So friendliness correlates with service satisfaction. So which one is the cause? So friendliness causes service satisfaction, which causes likely to recommend, for instance, right? So really understand which one is the cause, or which is the root cause. This is a question which AI or modeling, statistical modeling, does not care about. It's not built that way. But to solve that will lead you to causal models. Second is the confounder topic. Unknown confounders can lead you to believe that a correlation is causal. So that's why typically causal models are more holistic. They use more information. Also, you as a professional would like to thrive towards including more information about the context of the situation, which improves the model. Third is the causal direction. Is satisfaction driving loyalty, or loyalty satisfaction? For that, there are test algorithms, and also it's useful to include your expert knowledge in here. It's a longer topic. It's all also explained hopefully well in my book, Think Causal. And the fourth topic is indirect effects. Oftentimes, or if you do modeling, you always think in terms of the input variables, the outcome variables, and what it only can measure is the direct effect of it. But the causal effect, if you do advertising, it will not simply create sales. It will first, eventually, or most of the effect is that it creates a brand, right? And what the model is telling you just is direct sales effect. But the total effect needs to be understood as well, in order so you can understand the impact of your actions. I think it was a little bit theoretical today, but if you come in next time, join me in the live. You can ask questions, and you can of course also ask questions here in the comments, so we can discuss in more detail. And I'm planning to provide more funny correlation examples, because I think this is what we need to continually educate the organization to be more aware about the topic of correlations, because only if we understand that it's a risk, and a risk of misconception, a risk of wrong or harmful decision making. If we really understand that, we have then the awareness to be more humble and more smart to use the right methods, which brings you to more interesting, more holistic decisions, which are better grounded in the truth. So this from me today. Again, I'm curious to hear your views, your examples, your questions. in the comments. Let me know what you think. Curious about it, and wish you a lovely day. Bye-bye.